the first option, as the Nidalee Kindred have also been taken away on opposite sides of this draft, and Rise as well. So pretty standard stuff, apart from that adaptation TF. And I like that a lot. Of
Yeah,
course,
it makes a lot of sense.
It's really difficult to leave Fist of Fate up when you're on blue side anyway. Especially against Rookie.
Yeah, you would imagine Republic also wants his Azir now still. And not giving the Twisted Fate means that he's just going to be more equipped to actually 1v1 the person that he's against.
Well, Elise is actually going to be banned away here on the side of Game Talents. Bit of a throwaway ban there as a kid. Probably not going to be the one to play that, and they're looking for a first pick Graves here by the sounds.
You would have to imagine it's the Graves. I know that Wushong has the preference to Rek'Sai, and so by going for the Graves, it kind of bottlenecks him into something that he can do. He absolutely was a strong Graves.
Yeah.
Is it worth taking it from Kid? Because he wasn't the yeah, he got MVP, but he wasn't the standout performer.
But this has also taken away basically all of Kid's successful champions.
What do you mean? That guy's Mundo was MVP worthy.
I take it all back, Kid. Get back on the Mundo. We're all fine.
He can just play... Oh, no. So, okay. Elise banned, Kindred banned, Nidalee banned, Graves picked. Rek'Sai. Like,
yeah, Rek'Sai. Rek'Sai, Lee Sin,
the
something like
champion
that.
everyone wants to play anyway. He's also got his Lee Sin there.
That's a good point.
Like, he's leaving up champions like this.
Oh,
and
God.
Swain. If they first draft both of those...
And they both build first item dash cannon? Could you imagine it?
I could imagine it, sadly.
Sounds revolting, but it is actually going to be the priority given to the Karma. So IG making sure that they have Tabe in a comfortable position, and he did definitely look good in game number 1.
Yeah, the only quarrels with Tabe was his positioning. When it came down to the execution, it was perfectly fine as the 3-man group.
Tabe's quarrels were with Savoki, always managing to get the pillar right on top of his face.
Yeah.
But definitely still a quarrel worth having. There's now GT looking to pick away the Sivir. Stop IG from having that tool once again.
My question to GT right now is if they continue to pick away from IG and not for themselves, are they actually going to have a strong draft across the board, or are they just going to have mix and match until it works for them?
Well, it is actually the Bard picked up here. They were hovering a Kassadin for a moment. We saw that work horribly for for Jie into the Vladimir matchup. Last time we saw that in the mid lane.
It's kind of a cool matchup when you think about it. Vladimir's trade patterns are now more predictable with his blood bank that he charges up and does. Yeah. And GT have also switched up their team composition now. Still got that team fight kind of orientation available to them.
Yeah.
But missing the tank in the jungle role. They've traded that one for an enabling support. A way of engage. So they definitely can still team fight. There's a little bit less crowd control and tanking. It's just more damage.
And speaking of damage, Jace is being considered at the moment and locked in. So Rookie looks to be taking the Jace into the Kassadin matchup. Just goes for the flat out, I'm going to smack you in the head with the hammer counter matchup.
Yeah, and that's exactly what he's going to do. Because Kassadin's now in a mismatch. Rookie just switched to Ignite and challenged him to a duel.
Yeah, and when you come to a duel with like a fancy purple weird sword thing, and you're going up against like a super like mechanical hammer of doom, like I'm not betting on your Republic, I'm sorry.
And the real reason being that one is physical damage and ranged and has kill threat against Republic
that
wants to scale. I would imagine a Void Sword's pretty cool. Like in a theoretical world, it probably still hurts the same as a hammer.
That's actually a very good point. And the fact that you called it a Void Sword, I'm going for Republic now. Made it into the counter matchup. But of course, yes, sort of notably, has always been a matchup that Jace has been pretty comfortable in.
Yeah, absolutely. And the Finnish team comp from IG is very strong. Not a lot of crowd control, mostly disengage and poke, but that just feels so Invictus gaming at this stage.
Yeah.
It just is what they are.
And skirting around team fights was what they were good in the last game. Able to do it again. Let's hop onto the Rift for game number 2. Thank you very much, PentaQ, and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, once again to Summoner's Rift here for game number 2. We'll see whether IG can close this one out or whether Game Talents are ready to fight back, much like they did against Snake after their Game 1 loss against that team first onto the Rift.
Yeah, if there's one thing that Game Talents can do, it is bounce back.
Oh, yeah.
And they've got the makings to do it with their team composition that they have put together. Wushong on that Graves, standout performer when they played against Newbie, and took it to Swift. There's no slouch in that jungle role. Kid does have a big job ahead of him.
You can see Gimgoon actually fighting Zatai here, but misses the Time Winder. Zatai says, all right, just keep walking around, man. Totally fine.
It's kind of what Vladimir does anyway, right?
Yep.
Just walks around and says, all right.
Oh, and says something about, I'm shiny, something, something vampire, something, something Russian accent. I don't know.
That was a lot of
something
vague sentiments.
Yeah.
You made me think of Twilight. Not actually, because you said sparkly vampire.
Yeah, I probably should have gone with Romanian accent as well, because I don't know whether, like, I mean, let's just get off the topic. As Kid and Zatai are hanging out towards the top side of the map, looks like we aren't going to have any lane swaps. As Rain and Tabe happy to move down against PentaQ and Savoki. Of course, the Bard Siva has been a pretty good matchup in the past.
Yeah, and the interesting thing, and we can talk to the history of the matchups like this with the Graves, we did talk about Wushong as being that carry threat. They do want standard. It gives him the opportunity to invade and actually feel comfortable doing so. He might get a bit of awareness if he finds knowledge at all of where Kid started, and based off the delayed getting to lane from Zatai, it absolutely tells you that story. Look at the Graves. Immediately.
Right into the jungle as Kid will have to contend with the big burly man. And he's just going to be able to steal that one away. Look at that.
And now he's mid because Rookie is way overextended.
Yeah, he's going to turn up. Doesn't have any buffs yet at all, as Rookie does get a bit of a movement speed buff as he heads back into hammer form.
Yeah, to be fair,
just throws some pellets at him.
Level 2 Graves. Kill threat is non-existent. So he just put down some damage. But once again, proactive plays. This is Wushong. This is his Graves.
Yeah. Gimgoon as well, hitting level 2 here towards the top side of the map. Zatai just holding on, waiting for this minion wave to come to him.
Yeah. And small details, like just that extra bit of poke that you can put down onto Rookie as well, might help out this laning phase. Even if it forces a potion, Republic, small details again because he has the teleport, might actually prove invaluable.
And it's always the story with Kassadin as well. Just got to weather the storm as Savoki nails a Cosmic Binding across the wall. Rain actually heading right towards PentaQ. The exhaust goes down. IG are actually looking for this. Is PentaQ in trouble? The flashes! First blood goes down as Rain picks it up. The aggressive play from the bottom lane of IG is now Wushong. Caught out of position. Doesn't have a red buff. Kid does. He's also got barrels coming up, and there's the flash. Rookie grabs it with the empowered shock blast, and IG, 2 swift kills. Look at the momentum.
And that's an explosion on the Rift in favor of Invictus Gaming. Even dodging the Scuttle Crab with his Shock Blast Gate combo, Rookie just to hit the tip of it on his opponent. Very impressive stuff. Tabe shot calling in that bottom lane rings true. Savoki left a little bit too far to one side. Rookie, you don't have mana, man.
He does have exhaust, though. He's ready to do some battle. As Kid is going to turn up here towards the top side. Zatai just kiting him around as best he can. Gets the slow field. This is a bit of damage back, and Kid says, Zatai, you're supposed to back out now.
Zatai overextended a bit, knowing that Kid was there, but Kid didn't have his flash to follow up either, so once he just threw a barrel, kind of out-traded himself. The Kid turned around, was like, oops, might want to help. The other thing as well is that Wushong was trying too hard to invade. He didn't have the red buff, didn't have anything to his name, but still he tried, and that's why it backfired.
Well, you can see Zatai just trying to build that blood bank up. Does have a few transfusions left before he does get that Crimson Rush and gets a bajillion health back. There's the flash! Rookie! Able to displace Republic. Tabe was trying to make his way in, but they get the Summoner spell for 2.
That was actually a pretty poor trade, all things considered, for IG. Republic's going to be very happy with the outcome of that.
It was a cute little maneuver, though, however. The Empowered Shock Blast almost takes down Republic as Wushong now finds himself the only one capable of fighting. The slow comes in from the barrel. And they're still moving forward. Wushong is so aggressive.
Yeah, he's super aggressive. Kid will actually turn it on him if he plays too coy. He's just trying to help Republic wave clear. This could be a very negative thing.
Savoki made himself known there in the mid lane.
Just saying what up.
Yeah, another barrel is going to land. Of course, Rookie just waiting for mana to try and clear this or try and get another shock blast in there. However, not going to happen. Blasting one completed for Republic, and he's going to be able to teleport back into this lane, actually underneath the turret, which is pretty cute.
Didn't even have full health. Republic, that was silly.
Not one, but Savoki's going to find his way in. Rookie just sidesteps it, but the Ignite is ticking down. Not sure whether it's going to be enough, and it's not. Rookie just casually burning and doesn't die.
Yeah, still delayed recall. Savoki's actually slowing that down even further, which gives more time for a Kassadin. As this top lane starting to go really heavily in the Echo's favor.
Zatai, of course, can transfuse himself for some more health back.
Once he gets red and is empowered, the amount of health he gets back is just silly.
Oh, yeah.
It looks like Spirit Visage first item for him also. The amount of healing that Zatai will have and how hard it's going to be to actually push him out of lane is pretty absurd. I'm not really sure what Kid was doing there.
Just trying to pick up the added experience, I guess, underneath that turret. Is Republic going to dodge the shock blast? Big combo comes out, but Rookie getting out traded here. He only has a tier, like not going to be able to do as much as the flat AP that came in from the Kassadin.
And so the big thing there as well is Rookie used his only potion already against a corrupting potion Kassadin. So he's actually going to have to recall immediately. Like, look at him. He's in base as it is.
Yeah,
just got to lane, just left lane.
Well, we'll see whether Republic can shove this one up and really deny some farm here from Rookie, but he's falling behind now. The Kassadin doing really, really well, and maybe some over-aggression out of Rookie here in the early stages.
Yeah, he reached. You don't reach.
It was a nice Q to come, spell shield to come out from PentaQ there underneath his turret as we were just checking into the bottom lane. Stun comes down. Zatai in trouble once again. Hemoplague is, of course, available, and Transfusion is, of course, there. Zatai not in any immediate danger of death, but here in the mid lane, that is level 6 gained from Republic as there's another spell shield. Rain eats a bit of a boomerang.
RG is still playing in a predictable pattern, though, with this bottom lane. It's the second the Bard leaves, they go. And speaking of go...
Yeah, Rookie actually trying to turn this one around. The W's doing so much work here as Kid finds his way in. Republic can't head back forward with that Rift Walk anymore.
Yeah, Kid level 6 as well. So didn't use his ultimate, but threatens to the point where Game Talents couldn't use any displacement spells or movement spells. Is this? I feel like I've seen this before.
Yeah. This is the sort of Vampire goes low. Vampire doesn't care. Vampire gets health back. That's sort of the move.
Yeah, so laning phase actually quite extended is the point of this. While we're 8 minutes in, we've got 2 tier champions on the side of IG, so they do want to extend the laning phase. The Graves needs to start making some proactive efforts towards breaking something in this map. Something.
And Wushang has been known to be able to do that. We're looking for that from him right now, but hasn't yet been able to. He's only 1 creep ahead. Looking to try and get pressure here on this blue buff. Does so quite nicely. Does even have vision of it as well. But Kid is making his way over. Once again, Zatai basically dead on the top side of the map as the Hemoplague is going to go off. Lots of pings coming forward, and Kid is going to be able to lock down this blue.
They want the bottom lane, though. Tabe has to get out.
Yeah, is it forced to flash over the wall. Is now Rain. He might be in trouble. There's the Magical Journey, but no Cosmic Binding to follow up. And Savoki, very low.
Oh.
True Shot Barrage almost kills him. And there's the Flash Mystic Shot, not going to land. As now Rain turning his attention to the Sivir.
Graves is here.
Yeah, Wushang is going to make his way down. End of the line comes in, does get the heal out of Rain. No mana for the Arcane Shift. And Savoki just playing with his life. Using it as a resource right there to try and bait in Rain.
Yeah, super low stuff as, top laners are going to hit it out. Rookie and mid lane is hitting it out with his opponent. Everybody is just fighting everybody.
This is just battle times, Rusty. It's everyone fight all the time. That's what this game's about.
And this is what happens when you have damage dealers in every respective lane. We've got Kid and Wushang as the 2 determining factors because everyone's fighting. Everyone's getting very low during this. As, we're now having a look at Rookie's face.
I believe we do have a slight pause, just because probably the computer's burning out. Too much action so far this game.
There definitely has been a bit of action, to say the least.
Yeah, it is. It's been a bit of a brutal game. But as far as how things have shaken out, do you think that IG are on their way to finding themselves a victory, or do you think if Game Talents just calm down, chill out, move towards the late game, things will be fine? They have a game plan in plan. in place, and they'll sort it from there.
Well, I mean, you really can't tell at this point in the game simply because the Kassadin's doing well against his lane opponent in a Jace, something you don't often expect to say. But we are seeing it nonetheless. We look at top lane, and they're just 2 back and forth. We're still just waiting for that one big moment to actually put a lead in someone's favor, push it in their direction. IG, you would imagine the middle lane. Their bottom lane surprisingly doing well, something you don't often look to say. Whereas on the flip side, I mean, they're just doing their job. They're getting towards the late game, something they always want to do.
Yeah, so possibly just looking at the junglers here as well. And I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, Kid's got a lot more tools. However, Wusheng has a lot more of, I guess, history with making things happen here for Game Talents. He's one of the reasons why things have been going so well.
Yeah.
We'll see whether it's going to be Kid with the explosive cast that he now has. Going to be able to get the work done.
But credit where it's due as well to Kid, because so far so good in matching. Whilst Wusheng's being the aggressor and he's going into the jungle, Kid's actually meeting him at the entrance, at the door, saying you have to earn this.
Yeah, booting him out of there. As there's the knockback. Rookie is just going to head straight back in again. The exhaust is going to wear off, and Powered Shock Blast comes through one more time, and Wusheng gets delivered to the enemy team. Tempered Fate was not enough to save him there as Savoki tried to get through, and that is another kill going to Rookie.
Yeah, and once again on the back of Kid being at the right place at the right time, but most importantly, even Tabe and Savoki were here.
Yeah.
But Tabe's there quicker. He's there far sooner than that of only the Bard ultimate to be seen. And it's a too little too late scenario for GT, as IG find themselves in a convincing position off the back of what was an overcommit. A Kassadin being level 8, of course only having 1 level in his ultimate, and a Graves having used the dash, even with the body slam actually not connecting, still hits that clutch ultimate. And that's the game-changing power of a Gragas.
Yeah, and he got the belly bop, so I believe got a red buff slow happening there as well. So still able to get the work done as Gimgoon underneath the turret, still able to trade very favorably here with Zatai, who still hasn't gone back to base yet, after grabbing the components of that Spectre's Cowl.
He also blew his teleport early, so he is losing this lane till further notice, except for the fact that Gimgoon has no mana, and the Kid's watching him.
And that Zatai is probably going to be able to just pick up all of the farm underneath the turret and not actually suffer too much of a loss in the CS department. However, see whether Gimgoon can actually get the full-on pressure out or go for this 1v1 kill. If Zatai does anything, he gets greedy.
They do have an opportunity, though, here from GT. Zatai's, as you mentioned, being greedy. There's a teleport capable from Gimgoon.
If there's anything that's beautiful to watch, by the way, it's Rookie's ability to use the, cannon form W and kite around.
Yeah. What he also does well, something that Jace can occasionally do, is when you go to auto attack and change form, you can still do the melee hammer empowered bonus damage from a range.
Oh, Christ.
It's pretty, yeah. Look, it's difficult, but it's possible.
Oh, once again, the flash forward!
My God,
Rookie gets the solo kill!
Wow.
Is going to trade that one back. Wusheng picks that up, but that was the most sexy display of Jace mechanics I have ever seen in my life.
That was so good.
Rookie is done until further notice,
that was unbelievable. The only reason that there was a trade is simply because Wusheng was there with the Graves ultimate, right?
Yeah.
Rookie's a god. That was unbelievable. I'm a Jace fan now. I didn't even like Jace, and now I love Jace. Jace is the best.
That was ridiculous. Tabe getting some damage down onto Savoki here on the bottom side of the map. But look, Republic does have a Rod of Ages now. Rookie only with the 7 CS lead, so still will need to definitely outplay the Kassadin.
Still 3-1, so a slight edge. Remember, being a tier disadvantage, as it assumedly is, still being able to kill him under his turret says a lot about the matchup.
Zatai getting that Crimson Rush. He'll be throwing down tides and tides of this blood as well, as the Vladimir is just going to continue to be frustrating and has a Spirit Visage. So he's dodging a lot of this damage. However, Gimgoon just unrelenting in the pressure.
Yeah, there's a Spirit Visage, so the damage isn't exactly there for Zatai. However, his sustain will be under the turret. This is the big difference.
This is massive, and Tabe almost manages to get the snare here at the same time. And I have a feeling, because of the fact that IG just in general have been playing fantastically in a strategic sense, I I feel like we're finally seeing Tabe come into his own for the squad, because that's what he's here for, is for the shot calling, right?
Now, Tabe is strategy at the moment on this side, and the fact that they're winning lane, though, is just above and beyond expectations for this team. Like, Wushang's here to wave clear, essentially. That's how this game is going. He might even die.
They're turning it around. 2 versus 3. Rain is going to be making his way in. Zatai's got teleport if they want it, as Rookie is going to be picking up his blue buff. Gimgoon going to make his way back on up to the top lane. Has himself a Spirit Visage as well.
Very strong mechanically on this Echo Gimgoon as well. Putting a lot of pain onto Zatai. But the thing is, IG don't need Zatai to be winning that lane. They're winning bottom for the first time in what feels like forever.
Yeah.
Middle lane's still got control even though they're hitting each other. And Kid still feels on form. And so they're able to just rinse and repeat this top lane. Just lose the trades, but be perfectly content knowing that the Vladimir will be important as the game progresses.
Yeah, and so what does IG's comp do in the later stages of the game? Do you want to just siege and poke using your Ezreal and your Jace?
Yeah, it's siege and poke mostly. They've got a lot of counter to dive as well, so if GT ever look like they have control, they want to push, IG can get them back. But primarily, if they set themselves up right, they'll be going for neutral objectives and they'll be going for turrets.
Well, they definitely got a pretty good dragon for that as the mountain falls down. Rookie going to get Tempered Faded up. Teleport to come in from IG as 4 members converge on the Jace. Parallel convergence comes in as the explosive cask does a lot of work. Rookie's going to fall down, but look at this damage out of Zatai. Massive as the Crimson Rush comes in. Double kill goes down as Gimgoon's able to follow up. PentaQ arrives before Rain, but he flashes in. Republic in trouble. Gonna fall for the triple as Zatai is on a rampage. The Vladimir doing so much work. Look at his face. It's like, Zatai, I'm back, boys. Playing me carry top laners.
Yeah, Vladimir doing a lot of damage in these fights. Now 3-0, and that's exactly what we were talking about. You don't have to be relevant in laning phase, but the second it comes to a team fight, Zatai shines. And there is nothing that GT can do in these situations. The gold lead is stretching. Rookie just got crowd controlled constantly from the second that Tempered Fate connected to the moment that he died. I'm surprised he even got 51 damage in that, but it did not matter because Zatai was there at the perfect time with his teleport and put in work.
Doing 1,000 more damage than the highest on his opposing side with 0 damage items. Vladimir, everyone.
What's the new passive that Vladimir has? Gives ability, power, and health as it stacks.
Yeah.
So if you can time your damage on the right targets at the highest level of its stack, you get a lot of health back, but you also do a lot of damage.
So far, Invictus Gaming, probably one of the most impressive we've seen them so far.
They've always been good through the middle lane, so we always look at IG and it's like, Rookie will put in this work, and sure he is. They just won a team fight. How did he attack over the wall? They just won a team fight where Rookie did nothing.
Yeah.
And that's just so much credit to this team.
And Rain flashed in to flank as Ezreal. I have never seen this guy play with this much, I don't know, bravado before. This IG squad just looks reinvigorated.
Well, it's because we never see Rain win lane.
Yeah.
And now that he is, it feels like him and Tabe are working together nicely as Savoki's out of position here.
Yeah, completely. As Rookie just to the skies is exactly what happened to him right there. Savoki is just going to head straight to the Death Chamber. Parallel convergence once again as the Tide dodges out of the way of the stun, but Gimgoon, very difficult to deal with.
Just a pest.
Yeah, he really is. Look at the Crimson Rush, though.
He got 500 health back, Zatai.
Yeah.
Remember
and that is like trade even. Don't worry about it. Gimgoon puts in all of this work, does so many buttons.
And finally, Rookie's been unlocked in this middle lane also. Now the tower has fallen because IG grouped and got that one down. You can see he works his way towards bottom. And even going the Black Cleaver Rush build on the Jace.
So much CDR, already 30%, so there's going to be so many Shock Blasts coming in here. As Zatai now winning because Vladimir things.
That's actually Vladimir, and it doesn't sound like it's going to make any sense, but you lose until you win.
Yeah.
It's
the Skara method, right?
Yeah.
Well, On the Hunt has been popped.
Two
The teleport flank coming in here as Gimgoon and Republic going to pop out. Tabe is going to be the focus. Rain is going to fall afterwards as well. A proactive play from GT, who were well and truly ready to stop IG in their tracks.
They overstayed their welcome, though, IG, by a fair amount of time. Rookie had just pushed the turret with them, and he was middle lane when they died. There's only so much that you can get away with. 2 teleports is enough to get behind them, even though the immaculate vision that they have on the map is there. The teleport just gets behind it and ignores that vision.
Yeah. especially when the champions that pop out of that teleport are Kassadin and Echo.
They have the dashes.
Yeah, you ain't going to be outrunning them.
Also, a lot of stacks just secured for the Kassadin, something that you can question him having as much as you'd like. But
yeah, I was actually going to bring that up, but now it seems genius.
He's got stacks on it at the moment.
Yep.
And we'll check in 5 minutes and see if he does still. That's the important part, because it's not too far between these teams. There isn't a lot of separation. We've been talking up how well IG are playing. It doesn't mean that GT are out of it.
Oh, no, and we're not necessarily talking about it in this matchup. They're just looking a whole lot better than they have in the past, as Rookie has to use the flash, the exhaust immediately down onto Gimgoon to stop the dive. Uses his ult, get himself out of the way of Kid, who just always seems to be there ready to help Rookie out.
Yeah, Kid is the scariest member in IG at the moment, and that says a lot. The second he appears, everyone else runs away. As it was a nice little move. Remember, Echo, when he uses the dash, will follow any kind of displacement or movement spell. He found himself next to a Jace that flashed, a little bit deep, but exactly as intended.
Well, Rain, once again, back down towards the bottom side. He's got all the items that he wants as this Ezreal, and still keeps up that about 20 CS advantage. We have to remember the fact that PentaQ will have a heck of a lot of damage moving into the later stages of the game. The Sivir is going to be a big deal. The Kassadin, of course, scaling fantastically. Echo, no slouch either. Graves, ridiculous damage late game. So this GT squad still probably feeling pretty good. We'll see whether IG can keep them on their toes as they push things forward.
Yeah, but really, depending on how IG actually feel at the moment, they could start up a siege. They've got blue buff on Rookie, which means he's at his max cooldown reduction right now. He's quite strong. Rain was near the middle lane. I'm surprised that he's no longer leaving. There you go. Go back to that middle lane. Group up and just poke the heck out of them. They need Kid nearby, you would imagine, however. Actually be a threat for some kind of engage, and until then, we'll see what IG do. Because their biggest strength will be when they're hitting you under your own turret.
Yeah, Tabe even offering a bit there as well. I had to watch it completed for him.
Rookie is so far ahead of the rest of his team as well.
Yeah.
He knows exactly where he wants to be, and everyone else is just kind of responding to him.
However, you can see Zatai has got a heck of a lot of minion kills. As the wave is going to be destroyed, Zatai just continues to move down here, and this Vladimir is going to become more and more of a problem as this game goes on. Shock Blast is going to land. Tempered Fate avoided by everyone as the gate speeds everyone up, as well as the Karma. Rain dashing forward. So much long-range damage out of IG. And Kid looking for the flanking play. Doesn't find the barrel onto Wushang, but he's split the team up now, and they grab themselves the turret. IG in all of the control this game.
And that's the perfect movement around the map. Force the rotation from GT. Maybe have them with no vision available, put Kid on the flank, threatening and engage, and just rinse and repeat what they're doing right now. The onslaught of spells that'll get thrown at you with no Bard ultimate available can be devastating.
And Rookie going to grab himself a backup blue buff here as well. And IG aren't stopping. You're exactly right. So here's the setup.
And this setup should not stop until a turret falls, dependent on how GT play this. Naturally, Gimgoon is tanky. They're looking like they might want to engage.
Yeah, trying to find something. Big shield comes in from the Karma as Gimgoon looking to try and get damage down onto Zatai. Lots of health back from the transfuse as he's still managing to build up the Crimson Rush.
Yeah.
GT have to back away. Rookie just shock blast after shock blast, and each time it's closing the window for GT to defend.
They just haven't hit the right target, but they are still poking at this turret. It's actually going to go down this wave.
Yeah. Mountain Drake pretty strong for these siege comp situations, but here's the flanking teleport. Gimgoon, he's had enough of it, as there's the movement, doesn't get the parallel convergence, and Gimgoon can't actually find his way in here. And the kite back is just so good out of IG.
Yeah, that's exactly what they want. Poke, let them come to you.
That shock blast was so close, and IG are turning it around. Doesn't get the flash.
Oh
Just Kid as Republic just deposited into the enemy team. It's 2 swift kills here for IG, and they're still chasing after it. Rain flashing forward one more time. Can he get the Arcane Shift as PentaQ? Not going to quite find anything
Rookie
there with the boomerang.
It.
There it is. The max range shock blast is going to grab it as Zatai looking for Savoki. He wants Bard for lunch here as well. As you can see, the Cosmic Binding is going to be able to stop him up. Always dangerous.
They go straight to Baron here, Atlas. IG just get themselves the poke, and this is exactly, it's a delicate composition, but you force them to lose health under the turret, or you make them engage on top of you. With lacking engage that GT have got, it means that you just walk away, slow them with the Ezreal, slow them with the Karma, and speed yourself up. Wait till they're low enough, and just bam, straight up re-engage and win that team fight. This could be a little bit difficult, though.
Yeah, Rookie actually going to get shut down here as the Baron is going to fall. Tabe picks it up somehow as Republic takes a lot of damage from Zatai. PentaQ in here as well as that's the shutdown. So 2 dead for a Baron buff on the side of IG. Very risky play.
Yeah, they get the Baron onto 3 people still. Republic is the recipient of most of the poke, and Kid's ultimate here was phenomenal because it still pushes Republic into the team. Rookie's exhaust as well, like small things, and Zatai's never going to die. Sits in that front line. He got 900 health back from his ultimate. The usual Vladimir things. And Rain feels like he is just another cat player altogether. He's so confident. He's playing with this zest.
Yeah, the vigor. I don't know where it's come from, but it's incredible. I don't want to see more of it as IG found themselves with a possible Cloud Drake here. The ward does go over the side. Now IG are going to pull it out of the pit at least. Rookie making his way down there as well. It seems like the Cloud not going to be contested. And the second Dragon of the game going to go to Invictus Gaming. You can see the last team fight. Yeah, Rookie did some work.
Yeah, he absolutely did. Rookie's stand-up performer on this Jace at the moment. Kids kind of bridged him to this point of strength. Now 6-3. Ultimately just doing a lot of work.
Yeah, even got a Last Whisper now as well as that Hex Drinker. So going to be feeling a little bit safer. And a little bit more able to get through that armor total of Gimgoon.
We are still waiting for the level 16 mark, though, for GT.
Yep.
If they get the Kassadin to level 16, definitely hurts a lot more. He's harder to kill. He'll be doing more damage.
There's only one more item necessary here for PentaQ as well on the Sivir for him to be really, really powerful.
The thing is, they just need the engage to be perfect. If they don't get the right engage, you can see how it gets counted on them by IG's comp.
Yeah, and I mean, there are other options as well that GT can look at. Of course, when you're talking about a Siege comp, they can just grab themselves a whole lot of side vision, try and get these flanking plays, deny the vision from IG.
Yeah, no, there's more than like one dimension to an engage. But if the engage, no matter how you do it, isn't right, you're just going to slowly lose this game. They're slowly losing the game anyway based off the team composition that IG have got. You can see the repeated poke, just trying to hit them, if not zoning them away. Sooner or later, GT have to pull the trigger.
It's a war of attrition here from IG, and one thing that is just so beautiful is that this comp is much like a trust exercise, you know, because you never want to engage until you can definitely kill them, and when you do, everyone has to decide at the same time. We saw that in the fight towards the top side of the map where Kid pulled the trigger and went in. Everyone was there with him.
It's super volatile.
Yeah, it's really good to see out of
damage.
IG that have never necessarily had that sort of definite trust, especially when you got Zatai in your team.
And they're a happy team now. That's the best part. They're all just 5 good friends that are in a team together. And the siege is on.
Yeah, Tempered Fate goes down. Rain actually going to Arcane Shift his way out. A whole bunch of minions went gold, but that is about all that's going to happen as IG, the Siege comp, is doing all the work. GT will lose their turret. Can they get the poke damage in there? PentaQ takes a huge chunk out of one of the members of IG. Zatai just playing right up in the front line. He's so difficult to deal with. Look at that health back. It is repugnant.
Yeah, there's no way for them to stop this. IG just going to waltz into the base, get the inhibitor. And
yeah,
imagine
slow comes down, but Zatai almost wanted that Rift Walk to come through. True Shot Barrage also doing a lot of damage as GT head back to their fountain, but that's exactly what they wanted.
And they're so well set up here from IG because the top lane had a big stack of minions that if it came to it, they could have just waited till the next wave to get that inhibitor anyway. Everything's just set up nicely. And they're executing on that very efficiently, utilizing the Baron buff that they just secured after a team fight. And the map's just now completely blown open.
And this is just not the way we're used to talking about IG. It's such intelligent League of Legends at every turn, even though it is something a little bit different. I mean, it's the first time we've seen Jace here in the LPL, but it's working out brilliantly.
So the thing is, and like we can credit IG for playing this immaculately, and they are playing well at an individual level, but it's also just GT drafting themselves into these holes.
Yeah, that's
by picking the Kassadin in the middle lane, they run the threat of being picked against the Jace pick as well, coming up pretty clutch. By picking this Graves as the jungler as well, they lack control.
Well, Gimgoon has to use the ultimate, gets himself well and truly out of trouble, but doesn't have that tool now as they move forward. Nice wave clear to come out of PentaQ as they're defending this inhibitor turret. And yeah, I do understand that this is much to do with GT, but it's just how IG look around the map.
No, it's a pleasure to watch them because they're playing this so delicately, but they're actually succeeding in it. And it's one of those team compositions that when you see it work, you kind of just feel happy that it is.
Yeah. I think that's what I think that's where I'm at. Well, Zatai taking a lot of damage. Oh, he did take a lot of damage, just got a heck of a lot back there. Look at that ultimate out of Kid, really able to start this fight up. Republic has to get the hell out as PentaQ in trouble. Zatai dash cannoning his way forward. Gimgoon gets exhausted. There are so many low health bars as IG are just waltzing through. Gimgoon's going to die. It's going to be 2 dead on the side of GT. And the rest of them on the fountain, triaging the very best.
I'm not sure they can just straight end the game. They are looking aggressively towards it. If this doesn't work, they just go mid.
Oh, PentaQ in so much trouble now as well. He goes low. Republic doing the same thing. Savoki cannot tank that damage. Zatai is so big on this. Vladimir as Republic heads in. Does have the Zonyas. There's the pull out of Zatai. No one dead on the side of IG just yet.
No, it's ballsy though.
Super ballsy.
They should not have committed to that. Instead, they should have got the middle lane inhibitor. 1 turret to their name as an added bonus is nice.
Yep.
And the Bard engage this time hitting Rookie completely diffused by Kid on that Gragas. And once again, you ban all of Kid's champions out. He somehow gets still the perfect champion for their team composition and draft.
And this was one of the first champions that he started playing in the jungle as well. I mean, he's reaching back into the history books, but this guy's been a jungler for a long time now.
Yeah, he's been playing a fair bit of Gragas, and it makes sense that he'll still be quite competent on the champion. I think it's safe to say after this series, GT have learned that you can't ban Kid out, and that he isn't really the one that you should ban,
right? They had to fall for it once.
No one should fall for trying to ban Kid out.
This is a team that has still a whole lot of teams that were playing against IG all last split.
And so that Q was backwards.
So that's the PentaQ right there.
Oh, God.
That was pathetic.
Magical
Journey.
That didn't even make sense.
Going to get Savoki to relative safety here as Kid's clearing out vision. Baron buff going to be up in 6 seconds. Zatai hanging around the dragon, looking like they will try and get a second Mountain Drake to augment this destruction of objectives. And that's going to be very, very fast. Kid makes his way over the top. May just hold on to the smite here at the same time. Decides to. Oh, actually, decides not to. Probably another 15 seconds. Can take the Baron with it.
Yeah, but look at the way IG are now moving straight towards that Baron. Thankfully, GT have got the vision set up for it. They just need to hold in the middle lane if they can. Once again, that engage is lacking.
Oh, Kid looks for the body slams. Zatai just playing all the way up. Understands that he can get a whole bunch of that health back. It's a resource he can use. Because now they're pushing down on this inhibitor turret. Gimgoon takes about half of his health bar. The On The Hunt has been popped though. PentaQ looking for it. They managed to pick up Rain here as Republic is going to fall to Zatai. He's a one-man wrecking crew. That's a double kill already as the Shock Blast is going to be able to pick up PentaQ. Wushang and Savoki the last man standing, and not for long as it's a triple for the Vladimir. Zatai playing out of his mind, and this is going to be the end of the game. IG with a 2-0 victory over the undefeated GT.
Invictus Gaming just looking crisp at the moment. Still going for that Nexus dive standard, but as you mentioned,
yeah,
it's a pretty easy victory for IG as the end result. Very well played.
And that was game held in control throughout its entirety as well. This Invictus Gaming squad look reinvigorated and phenomenal coming into this game against GT.
Yeah, they've changed up their drafting strategies, how they executed on the map. They've worked out a style, it feels like.
Yeah.
But the more you look at it, it just is IG. And they've got that Twisted Fate potentially in the middle lane from game number 1 that got banned. And then they just mixed it up with the Jace and Vladimir and Ezreal, and they just put it all together.
And I feel like what they're doing is just playing to the strengths of their key players here as well. I mean, Zatai always likes to be on a damage dealer, causing a ruckus somewhere that isn't necessarily with his team. Rookie as well has these phenomenal mechanics, often in a micro situation. They are going to take a very well-deserved bow. Invictus Gaming, what they've done is they've just been built into this team that doesn't want to straight-up team fight you or anything like that. There are other teams that are better at that. Anything else, though, that's their game. The 1-3-1, the poke and siege, the we're going to kite you and then decide to fight whenever we feel like it type comp. There are other options. They've discovered that. Looking real good.
Yeah, it's always something that they've had like a subtle strength towards. Yeah. Of course, the Twisted Fate being a rookie champion, he's always got a lot of Jace in his back pocket available. Like they've had these possibilities there, but what they've decided on, and to me it feels like they've just added a shot caller. It feels like they can execute on those strategies now. They don't just have to team fight. Whereas last split, we were looking at Kid kind of having to be the engage tool for the team, make the calls. Well, now you just don't need to engage. You can actually just sit back and win the game through control of the map, slowly get these turrets down, place your vision, set yourself up, poke, siege, kite, do all of this stuff, and just find a victory without having to 5v5. And honestly, frustrating GT.
Yeah.
They really did want to 5v5 you, but it just wasn't allowed.
Yeah, and that's how they've been winning a lot of these games as well. I mean, this is an undefeated team, a team that we did underestimate heading into the LPL, but have definitely proved themselves. And they by no means played poorly. They may have drafted pretty poorly in game number 2. However, on the Rift, Republic was still well and truly keeping up with Rookie until most of the way into the mid-game. That is a massive deal for a Kassadin to do.
Yeah.
So, like, there are definite positives to take out of it, but IG just, I don't even know. Is it the Karma pick? Is it Tabe managing to pick up something that can facilitate so easily? It's like, I'm pointing to you, and I'm going to make you really fast go in there and do stuff. Or is it just not that clear?
But Karma is like, if you're a shot caller and you're playing Karma, it actually is pretty good at enabling your team's strengths, right? If you say go and then just double their move speed, kind of makes that engage a bit easier. So kind of the Karma helps. I think Tabe just being able to be that champion definitely helps. To me, it felt like Kid beat Wushang. And how have GT won all of their games so far? It was through their jungler being strong, through their mid laner capitalizing on their jungler being strong, and getting engages, getting Savoki as well to kick off some cool team fights, play disengage where required. But this time around, they were bottlenecked into a strategy. They kind of drafted themselves into that bottleneck, and they just couldn't execute.
Exactly right. And a lot of it had to do with this man in the mid lane. 8-3-7 as the MVP goes to Rookie. 83% kill participation. And I just want to see the one replay of that completely bogus 1v1 in the mid lane. Because that's about all we need, I think.
That was disgusting. Jace has a lot of intricacies in terms of his kit. This is one of the few times where you can see it's Kid essentially out decision-making with the opponents. Like the body slam doesn't connect, but still hits the ultimate. Sets Rookie up. Puts him on a pedestal to get all of these kills and snowball the game through. This is exactly the one that we were talking about, I think. Yeah, it is.
Auto. Oh, God. Yeah.
It's the W that a Jace has as well. Thankfully, of course, Graves was there. This was a battle of who can either disengage the best or engage the best. And when it came to the crunch, IG disengaged far greater than that of GT's actual engaged sources. And they turn it back around. They've got Kite. They make it work for them the best.
Yeah, and we saw that was an immediate decision from everyone. I mean, it was Kid that started that up, but everyone turned around at exactly the same time and said, we are going in and we are killing some people. And they did so. They did exactly that. Turned around, picked up the team fight. And that would have been very different. If it was just a Gragas launching himself on top of an enemy team, not going to look as great. However, everyone there, everyone on the same page getting the work done, and that is just so beautiful to see from this team. Because IG, looking a little bit, like, I guess, frazzled in the first split. I mean, they didn't have a very good world.
They were
inconsistent. Of course, coming off that was always a problem. And if they can keep this up, that is going to be the big deal. And you mentioned inconsistency. I mean, maybe this is just the best we've possibly seen them. Hopefully they can keep it up.
That's what they said last split, right? Invictus Gaming were the happiest we've ever seen them, which means they were going to become the best that we've ever seen them naturally, because a happy team is a successful team. Right now, we've seen them come into the second split. 3-3 was their start, so very much still shaky, potentially still questions on their consistency. But they've come into this series at the very least against a side that was actually on top of the tables in their group. And yes, it's a young side. To me, I just feel like they just exploited GT, actually picked their weaknesses and played a draft around it. I'm not sure whether it's coaching staff or just in-game shot calling, but it all just aligned for them very well in this set.
They most certainly did. And I think a lot of it as well, I mean, we've spoken about it before, but you mentioned this friendliness between IG. Rookie speaks fluent Mandarin. Do you think like the fact that they all have very clear communication in the one language is going to be really important for IG moving forward?
So the really cool thing about Invictus Gaming is that not only can Rookie speak it fluently, but so can Rain, the other Korean in the team. They're actually both fluent in Mandarin. Rookie sings and streams, and I am pretty sure I'd be sick of being asked to sing in Mandarin at this stage, but it just goes to show that this is a team similar to OMG, but with the star-studded Koreans in there to boot.
Yeah, especially when it's Rookie, the man, like the dominator of lane, and has always been able to do so, and it's just beautiful seeing it come out of IG. But what's next for Game Talents here? Have we exposed a weakness in this series now? Is it sort of we're going to team fight you or lose? Is that going to be the thing? Is everyone now just going to run split push against them?
I think Gimgoon might even need to look towards a direction that isn't Echo, or Savoki needs to step up to the plate because their engage was lacking. Perhaps that's a drafting issue. It was in the second game, but the first game even felt like they just couldn't make the right decisions. And to me, it just shows that they're stuck being respondent. They couldn't actually get anything done themselves unless IG were the ones doing it, and then they just tried to mechanically execute. Laning phase was good.
Yep.
They could still lane. They're still strong individual players, but they lost as a team against what is a team. And that's potentially the biggest exploitation now of GT.
Yeah, and there were a couple of good plays. Of course, they utilized teleports relatively well. There was the double teleport that happened into the bottom lane, secured them a double kill. I mean, things like this were definitely good news stories, but IG just seemed to know what to do after everything. And they capitalized on that. There were multiple people towards the bottom side, so IG just say, all right, well, we'll take the rest of your stuff. As Rookie, you see, sacrificing himself for the good of the colony. As the rest of IG just bail from that Baron pit. IG going to die as well.
It was absolutely a good news story across the board for IG. Zatai being able to find this medium between I can play a damage dealer and I can either team fight or I can split push, and he gets to choose according to what the team needs. This time around, the amount of damage that he did was just unfair. Vladimir is an absurdly strong pick at the moment, and having all of these carries there that you actually mentioned during the game gives IG this added bonus, is that they can just be all carries and play to their own strengths.
Yeah. And I actually hadn't really thought about it before, but Vladimir just completely dominated in the later stages of the game, does need help getting there, and Jace is the perfect super early game, they smash him in the face style champion. So the bridging that they did in their composition also worked out very nicely. Yeah,
they spike at very stip-ended times in the game, so they hit the 2-item spike for the Ezreal and Jace as well. They get towards the 2 or 3 for the Vladimir. And once again, it was actually just a very good holistic victory from IG.
Yeah, and we'll see whether they are going to be able to continue it forward. So I guess looking at IG to keep winning and keep winning in this fashion, because, of course, consistency is key. And if we learn anything from their other series, I mean, they just haven't necessarily got there just yet, because this is a team that's a happy team. They have been for quite some time. They still managed to lose some matches earlier on in the series.
Looking at IG for consistency is definitely a factor, but also looking at GT to actually work out why they lost and come back stronger for it.
Well, we'll see whether they can do exactly that. But, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to throw to a short break. When we get back, Snake take to the Rift against Newbie. Don't go anywhere.